Hi teachers and welcome back to Lesson Gems. My name is Brother Lammers. I have the lesson that is assigned for Wednesday, December the 18th, or the lesson in your seminary teacher manual labeled Moroni, chapter 10, verses 8 through 25. Let's get right into it. This lesson can help our students to seek after the gifts of the Spirit. So let's go over some basics to take this desired outcome and to help make it ours by adapting it to our needs and to the way that we teach and our personalities. So these possible learning activities, remember that in the past we've talked about them being readinesses. So one variation to this readiness, and then we'll go over a very important question after I talk about this variation. So the variation of this is taking these ideas of spiritual gifts, but the idea that Heavenly Father knows exactly what we need, and He is the best gift giver in the universe. And so we can bring two variations of bread or muffins or something that is widely appealing to a student. Let the students know that you want to give them the one that they want, but because we're imperfect, we need to ask them what they want. And so then let them enjoy a nice piece of bread or something very simple. Now, go into verses 9 through 11 of Matthew chapter 7, and please look for what do we learn about Heavenly Father and gift giving. So when we know that He knows He can give the best gifts, how can knowing about this help you to love and trust Heavenly Father more? So good. I hope that readiness will help to engage your students. Food always helps me with my early morning classes, but here is a really real and difficult question. What if it doesn't work? What if you present this readiness or ask a question and you get crickets or kids who just don't want to engage, or they look at you like, oh, who are you? What if that is happening, or if it does happen? It's early, they don't want to engage, almost like this culture of apathy. Can I share with you one way in which we can approach this apathetic response that we can sometimes get from our students? And it's direct and obvious invitations. So before I even offer this readiness of two different things, I want to know the best thing that I can give to you, because that in relation shows that Heavenly Father can give you the best thing because He knows you perfectly. I'm going to explain directly and obviously to the students what the desired outcome is. I'm going to explain how I'm going to try to achieve it, and then I'm going to invite them to play their part when called upon. So let me model this with you. So this exact readiness that we just talked about, let me share with you how I might do this, meaning if I'm going to try to be direct and obvious. Hey students, we just had this wonderful song and a prayer and a devotional. Here's what we're going to do, and I need your help because sometimes we just have this idea where you listen to me and I talk and that's it, and we're not going to do that anymore. So can I please invite you to know that I'm going to give you options of two wonderful things. I want to know which one you want because I'm not Heavenly Father and I don't know exactly what you want or what you need. He does. He's the perfect gift giver. So that's what we want to establish. So if you would, please, brothers and sisters, will you please write down this bolded statement? Just write it down. That's what we're going to try to achieve. So please let me share with you what I want to do, and then just jump in with me. And I'm going to call on some of you directly. We just want to make sure that this is something that we're doing in class instead of me just talking to you. So then, I want you to try to do that, brothers and sisters. Have the readiness ready, meaning using that readiness that you have planned. Have a backup plan, or if it's not working, have this direct and obvious approach ready to go. This cannot be in a commanding or an exasperated manner, and it can't be in a desperate or pleading manner. And I know that makes it very kind of difficult or touchy, but just be very bold and obvious with your students. Here's what we're going to try to achieve. Here's what I'm going to ask of you, and then do it. Invite them to use their agency. Some of them still may not participate, but I promise that you're going to have more who step up and engage if they're invited directly and you explain just very obviously what you're doing. So that's my idea when it comes to this idea of readiness, and what if it doesn't work? So I hope that can help you guys in the future if it just doesn't work. So then, moving down into this section, inviting our students to look for or use variations of the look for question. Why does God give spiritual gifts? Please look for this. Please read looking for this. Then examples of spiritual gifts. I really like this section because it allows us to practice the skills that we've been working on for the past couple of weeks. In verses 9 through 16 in Moroni chapter 10, verses 8 through 18 actually is what I like. I'm going to invite them to link 1 Corinthians chapter 12, section 46. Because Heavenly Father has invited those who recorded the scriptures and how we have the scriptures to have the exact same spiritual gifts, or the ideas of spiritual gifts, recorded in 3 books of scriptures. So why do you think that these spiritual gifts are so important if they're recorded in the Bible, the Book of Mormon, and the Doctrine and Covenants? Have our students kind of think through it, looking for examples of spiritual gifts. Then down in the commentary and background section down here, President Nelson gives an amazing example of what spiritual gifts can look like when they're not listed on a page. So please watch this video looking for, remember, give them the look for question. Please look for examples of spiritual gifts that President Nelson shares with us. Then we get into the action portion, or the practice portion of this lesson. Please help them see that this is what we're going for now. It's great to know about a gift or to describe it and to be able to identify it, but how do I obtain these? How do I get them, or how do I seek after them? And these little activities and questions, and it helps them to think about how I can go get it, and it leaves a wonderful invitation to act. How will I go get this? Pick one spiritual gift and go get it. Teachers, this year has been so wonderful to be with you in the Book of Mormon. I am in awe at what you do to sacrifice and love your wonderful students and to help them deepen their conversion to Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for all that you do, and we'll see you again soon.